Alma sandwich shop. Alma opened a shop. We all like a good sandwich, and we all have our favorite. Maybe it's peanut butter and jam, or maybe it's ham and cheese with pickle and mustard. But not Irma. She did not like sandwiches, but she sure could make them. In fact, Irma loved to make sandwiches. She loved it more than anything else. Irma made lots of sandwiches, and she never heard of one she couldn't make. So no one was surprised when Irma opened a sandwich shop. Irma's shop was on the corner of Pumpernickel and Rye. It was the busiest corner in the town. In town, everyone passed her shop at least once a day, and when they did, they had to stop. Irma nailed a large sign to the front of her shop. It read, "Irma Tasty Sandwich Shop. You name it, and I make it." Irma, Irma's famous sandwiches. There wasn't a sandwich Irma couldn't make, and it wasn't long before everyone began to believe it. If you name a sandwich, Irma would make it. If she didn't have the ingredients, it never took her long to get them. She had every kind of bread now known. She had whole wheat, she had rye, she had pumpernickel, and she had sourdough. Why, she ever had plain white bread. She had bread with nuts in it, and she had bread with fruit in it, and she baked it all in the back of her little shop. If Alma didn't have the bread you wanted, she would bake it. Irma's first customer was Reuben Cornwall. He wanted corned beef with Swiss cheese and sauerkraut, and he wanted it on rye bread. Irma called the sandwich a Reuben. It was a big hit at the shop. She sold more Reubens than any other sandwich. Little Joey Talltree came into Irma's shop more than anyone else did. Each day he stopped at Irma on his way to school, and each day he ordered a different sandwich. All the kids in the lunchroom were impressed with Joey's sandwiches. He loved sausage sandwich with chocolate sauce and bean sprout. But his most impressive sandwich was one stacked high in with 10 different kinds of meat. Between each layer of meat was something different. There were mustard and ketchup, and lettuce and peppers. There were grape jam and pickles and peanut butter and horseradish. But most people got astonished, just as Joey ate his amazing sandwich, but not Joey. He would just let out a big burp as he finished it. Then he would smile and wipe off his face. All the animals want sandwiches. Irma became a very famous sandwich maker. Before long, every living creature was stopping by Irma's shop. Each one ordered his or her favorite sandwich. One day, Sammy Snake slithered in from a nearby swamp. His tongue licked wildly for the scan of his favorite meat. "What can I make for you?" asked Irma. Sammy thought for a minute, and he replied, I'll have the rat and lizard sandwich with bug release. Okay, said Irma, but that one will take a little time. I'll have to go out and get the ingredients. I'm happy to wait, said Sammy with a smile. A truly good sandwich is worth waiting for. An hour later, Irma was back. She had a basket full of rats and really lizards and bugs. She carefully laid them among fresh lettuce between two slices of rye. Sammy swallowed the sandwich in one big gulp. Then he slid out of Irma with a bolt in his stomach. The next day, the vulture swooped into Irma's shop. Val sat on the counter and waited patiently for supplies. Soon Irma came out of the kitchen to take Val's order. What can I make for you? Asked Irma. Val asked them to see a menu, but she didn't see anything she liked. The sign said name it and you make it. Is that true? Asked Val. You bet it is, said Irma. Hasn't been a sandwich yet. I can't make. So what will it be? My fine feathered friend? How about some fresh dead opossum? Add some squashes, crown, and rancid mouse with honey mustard, said Val. Irma just smiled and said, coming right up. After driving along the highway to collect the ingredients, she returned to the shop. She quickly made Val's sandwich. Val ripped it apart and ate it in a flash. Great sandwich, Irma, Val said as she flapped out the door. I'll be back for another in a couple of days. Irma's biggest challenge. Each day seemed to offer Irma a new challenge, but her biggest challenge came when Billy the goat walked into her shop. Welcome, Billy, said Irma as he rammed the door open with his horn. I suppose you have come to challenge my sandwich making ability, ability. So what will you have? Billy began to rattle off a list of ingredients: crossing cans, old sharks, crystals, a bird nest, an old book, and a head of cabbage. Some pickled pepper and some minced cheese mold, a dash of salt and a cup of hot salsa. Is that all? Asked Irma. Yep, said Billy, but I wouldn't mind if you would toast the old sock. Whatever you say, replied Irma. Do you want anything to wash it down with? Yeah, give me a mug of dishwasher, said Billy. After that day, Irma really knew there was not a sandwich she could make.
Good job.